The year is 2000. Vitali Klitschko is the freshly crowned WBO heavyweight champion after stopping Herbie Hide in barbarous fashion.
Took so many punches, unbelievable. I have my pain in my right fist. I was surprised.
After a dominant display against the relatively solid contender Obed Sullivan, he is facing his most formidable opponent thus far, the slippery, slick, rapid-fire Chris Byrd. Will Vitali showcase his knack for politics by skillfully creating a checkmate on the boxing chessboard? Or will Chris Byrd set up a gambit in hopes of capitalizing on a champion that none so far have been able to break down? Let's get into it. While Chris Byrd has slowly been building momentum as the swiftest and most skillful American heavyweight in what felt like many years, Vitali Klitschko had been gaining popularity elsewhere. While Eastern Europe had seen some publicity in the past with fighters like the Russian-Australian beast Kostya Tszyu and the Croatian menace Marian Benes, Eastern Europe as a whole had been given the cold shoulder in boxing for the better part of a century. But two men set out to change all that, and changed it's soon become.
Right now, who's the better boxer?
Vitali.
You agree?
No. Vladimir have much bigger future than me, and he has bigger talent than me.
The Klitschko brothers were undeniably talented from the get-go, and while having a giant's physique, a truckload of testosterone, and the willpower of a single mother on Black Friday, it was clear who Ukraine's new sporting heroes had become. While his younger brother Vladimir was a gold medalist at the Olympics, Vitali decided to dominate kickboxing, becoming a 6-time world champion, all the while tallying up an amateur boxing record of 195 wins with only 15 losses. Turning professionally to boxing in 1996 alongside his younger brother, Vitali and Vladimir created an impressively sizable new audience to the sweet science. And while Vitali had now become a world champion, Vladimir was just a few steps behind. Chris Byrd's career, although impressive, did not have as long a list of accomplishments as his adversary. Still, while he'd had one blemish on his record against the scary, undefeated contender Ike Ibeabuchi,
he took his time, like I said, patient, and just caught me on the ropes.
Byrd was an anomaly in the heavyweight division, with impressive defensive maneuvers that once in a blue moon brought to mind Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker or James Toney.
Literally, you have to put me in the ring to stop me. I mean, you have to knock me completely out to where I can't get out.
The statistic of being a middleweight silver medalist at the Olympics, yet a top heavyweight fighter, if he were able to become a champion, would make a point of him being the smallest heavyweight champion as far as natural weight was concerned of all time. The bout arrived on April Fool's Day of 2004. And what better day for the, at the time, tallest heavyweight champion in boxing history to get beaten by the smallest. The two men enter the ring, and they seem to be born and bred from different planets entirely.
You wonder if somehow Chris Byrd can't get the crowd on his side.
You see Klitschko here, going with the jab, not really firing it. He wants to set up the right hand, and he gets Byrd with the right hand, pins him in the corner, and already Byrd begins to feel the power.
Chris Byrd's infamous slipperiness is unfortunately absent through the first 3 minutes, as the comical size difference finds Vitali showcasing a daydream of being able to close whatever gap Byrd attempts to create.
That right hand almost looked like it hurt Byrd. Apparently it didn't.
Right hand trying to punch through the guard. Byrd comes back with a left to the body.
Less than a safety first and safety second.
Ibeabuchi, the better, more accomplished body puncher. There's Klitschko trying to fire the right hand right up through the guard. Even went so far as to buy an advertisement during the week of the Lewis Holyfield match in Las Vegas last fall. He's having to try to aim those right hands instead of really unleashing them. Now there's another right hand. Byrd looping over the top. The 27 knockout streak will go away. Hard left hand by Byrd. Translation, you got to throw more punches. And now Byrd is doing it.
Round 5 is Byrd's first strong round yet of the night, being able to stretch his legs and arms as he peppers Vitali with jabs while avoiding whatever Vitali Klitschko has to show, as if in the Matrix.
She said she thought Klitschko was an arrogant Russian.
remains to be seen. His brother Vladimir simultaneously speaks to him in Russian. An interesting heavyweight fight in Berlin, Germany, between the towering Vitali Klitschko.
He's made a good adjustment to what happened to him in the last round.
As Larry pointed out, Klitschko making a good adjustment and regaining his momentum in the fight.
He's in the laboratory right now to prove it one way or the other.
27 previous fights of greater than 6 rounds. So we're moving into an area of the fight with which Byrd is considerably more familiar.
We have the strange sight of David coming forward and Goliath going backward.
By his father, Joe Byrd, who used to set his sons up and never be found by a significant bump.
He's not trying to put any hurt, serious hurt on Klitschko.
Now a harder right hand. Byrd comes back with the left. Again, Klitschko to the body, and this time a big right hand, and Byrd comes back with a double left of his own. Klitschko finding the target just a little bit more often now.
He's not trying to punch through the target because it's too hard to do that with Byrd. He's punching at the target and piling up points.
Larry would give him just as much credit for an intelligent, well thought out decision victory over Byrd as for another big knockout from his own nationality. Straight right hand lands for Klitschko. And a harder right hand for Klitschko. And targets. And now there's the left hand by Byrd. Our translator, Cornelius Winter, telling us now that Klitschko's trainer has said Klitschko's left hand is hurt and he can't use it to the full extent. And it's the right hand that does the big damage most of the time anyway.
Good series to the head and the body.
Byrd trying to gull Klitschko into believing that he had hurt him with the right hand, and now Byrd exciting the crowd by landing back in counter. And there's another right hand landing for Klitschko. They've gone 10.
Wait a minute.
They're stopping it. They are. That's exactly what Cornelius Winter just told us.
I can't believe what I've just seen.
Vitali Klitschko elects not to go on with his left hand apparently too damaged.
He doesn't have the mentality of a champion.
Chris Byrd's celebration after achieving what few, if any, believed him possible to do is admittedly heartwarming. But while Vitali broods and awaits his recovery, he relies on something just as dangerous as his injury to finish the job and bring glory back to his household. So, just 6 months after Chris Byrd's monumental victory, it was his opportunity now to take out not just one heavyweight champion, but 2. The night arrived on the 14th of October of the same year, and as Byrd's confidence has never been more explicit, Vladimir's ice-cold veins have never been more threatening.
Elder brother Vitali, who was over in the corner there, literally threw the belt away when he quit on his stool against unfancied, cagey Chris Byrd. Trying to get his right hand. 32 knockouts in 34 fights.
You'd hope maybe...
There's the right hand. Watch the hook and then left jab. Find his range with that jab. If he didn't get Byrd away within 6 rounds or so, that stamina may come into question. It was his only defeat.
Just want to weather the early storm and the early rounds and hopefully come back later. This is a better
Round 4 is another dominant display from the younger Klitschko brother as he mercilessly outlands Byrd and keeps him on the back foot. At the same time, Vitali sits back and admires the champion-level dynasty continuing without his input.
Really good work now from Wladimir Klitschko.
In the third round, he did a little bit better, but I thought his punches lacked the quality of the challengers. And again, he's just really surviving here. This is, again, good work from Klitschko.
There's sort of a cuffing right hand. But he's picking up the pace, much to the enthusiasm of the crowd. Look at that long jab. For his major opportunity. Byrd with an attack. A right hook, gains slightly using the inside of the glove from Klitschko.
Klitschko's coping with him well, Adam. He's actually looking quite good against him at the moment here.
Chris Byrd beat his brother fair and square, and now he must do that. Vitali won the championship. The World Juniors got to the final, the quarterfinals of the World Seniors. Oh, good right hand from Klitschko, and covers up well.
Thankfully, Byrd has shown a little bit more aggression.
A bit more adventurous now. Klitschko.
Byrd finding a little bit of ambition, which is nice. He doesn't use uppercuts as often as he would like. I don't think it's fair to judge Klitschko against this fellow.
He finally got found out. He's won 5 since.
Well, I think it's more likely he's maybe going to become tired.
But he comes back with good body shots. That was impressive. There's a right hook from Klitschko.
He slowed down that.
Just looked at the referee there and said he was okay. He's looking much more open now. That's a left hand from Klitschko. The right hook follows. Wobbles Byrd, and the American in serious trouble. Right hand though over the top, and down goes Byrd for the first time in the fight. Klitschko returns to the neutral corner, but it was the accumulation really earlier in the round, I think, that hurt Byrd. He's back on his feet quite quickly, but he has never been able to get into this fight. Bad moments for Byrd. The bell rescues him at the end of the ninth.
Yeah, Byrd's punches looking a little bit feeble now, and once again, right onto the shot. Punches are landing cleanly now.
Yes, right hand on the counter this time from Klitschko. When he walked in.
Round 11 sees Byrd continue to go out on his shield after accepting a points decision to be near impossible. But after a swift right hand and a follow-up of wild thrashing from Klitschko, Chris finds himself on the canvas again.
Right hand from Klitschko. And Byrd wobbles, and he's down with another right. Cuffing over the head. But it was the first one that did the damage. Knockdown number 2 in the fight. He says he's fine. He said he's okay. But he's going to have to throw some shots back. He can't keep talking to the ref like that. But the outscored player, Hulstram, was no joke. Last few seconds. And the crowd on their feet.
After a quick assault from Byrd at the end of the round as a last-ditch effort for his belt to stay safely kept away, Wladimir cruises to the finish line, and the Klitschko family's reign of terror continues.
Wladimir Klitschko.